Y'all, E-Movie here. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone is having an outstanding day and feeling blessed and highly favored. Okay, y'all, I'm coming back to you with another video. And yes, like always, this video is special. No, seriously, it is special. Okay, y'all, what we're going to do today, we're going to do part 2 to the last video that a major video I did about food preservation. And what we're going to do is go over long-term storage, food storage and some long-term storage. Okay, so we're going to get right into this because I'm going to try to get this all done in one video because I don't want to be stretching it out. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about containers and how you use the containers. Okay, what type, which is best. All right, now when you do long-term food storage, the first go-to everybody goes to is the bucket. Let me show it to you. Now, this is not a food grade bucket, okay? This is just a standard Home Depot bucket. All right, but you can use this bucket, but you would have to use it with this. This is a 5-gallon Mylar bag, and you would fit this bag in this bucket and store your food in. Most people do it this way instead of spending all that money on food grade buckets because they are very expensive. You pay what, $7, $8 a bucket, but people use these buckets and they put the Mylar bags in. Okay, this Mylar bag, this is a 5-gallon Mylar bag, okay? The standard bag that would go in this bucket. All right, now, if this is the route that you would want to take, then that's good too. But with me, I wouldn't want to put everything in this bucket. For the simple reason is, once you break the seal, you have to cut and break the seal. It's open. Okay, let me show you how it works. Okay, in this bag, I got rice. Okay, and I just sealed it with an iron. All right, and with these bags, you would use what's called an oxygen absorber. Okay, now you can use this oxygen absorber with beans, rice, all dry food, anything that's 10% or less in moisture, you can use this oxygen absorber, okay? But there are some foods you cannot use the oxygen absorber, and I'll go over that later. All right, now, I put the rice in this bag and sealed it up, and it's good to go. This is shelf ready. Okay, now, the only problem with these bags are they're not rodent proof, because a mouse or rat or whatever can eat through these bags. Even if you put it in a plastic bucket, sometimes they can chew through the bucket. But, a lot of times if you got it high up, off the floor, it can be kind of safe. Now, like I was saying, I wouldn't put pour a 25-pound bag of rice or nothing in that bucket. To me, I would break it down. Now, let me show you what I did. I took one of these 5-gallon bag and I broke it down. Okay, and I actually made this size right here. I cut it, and then I took the iron and I sealed it up, on the side that I cut it, and just sealed the top. Okay, now this is a good size. Depending on the size of your family, the size of your family is how you should do it. Now, if you got a small family and you want to fix a lot of packets of rice, you can cut the bag down to this size and fill it. And they do make oxygen absorbers. Now, this is 300. This is a 300 size, and I think this is 500. This actually goes in the bucket, if you're going to put the Mylar bag in the bucket, you would put this big one in there, okay? Now, Now let me talk about the silica pack too, since we're here. The silica pack, you would use this in a place where you can't use the oxygen absorbers. Like I said, you can't use it in whole wheat flours. You can't use it in nuts. The oxygen absorber. You can't use it in nuts. You can't use it in dry fruits. There are like, I think they said, well, I don't eat eggs, but I think you can't use it in that either. But there is a lady named Mary, and the name of her channel is Mary's Nest. She goes into great detail about these things. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to link her channel in the description box, and you guys can go check out because she went in depth. She really, really went in depth. And I figure, hey, why try to reinvent the wheel? If there's a video out there with all this information already in it, I say, go that way, But yeah, she really goes into it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Depending on how big your family is, put your rice, if you're going to do rice or beans, dried foods in these little bags. Then put the small bags inside the bucket or inside the big bag that's in there. Well, you don't really have to use the big bag. Just use the bucket. Put the smaller bags in the bucket, okay? You can use this side. You can use this side depending on your family, the size of your family, okay? So that's our Mylar bag. Let me move it out the way since we went over it. We went over the bucket. And like I said, you can get, you can invest in the food grade buckets if you want to. That's totally up to you. And then they have the different tops. They have the twist tops that people seem to like. Okay, now, let's go over our glass. Old standby, glass. You never have, the only thing you have to worry about is falling and breaking. But, glass is the #1 storage when it comes to home storage container. Okay, you can use plastic too. Like this is a gallon plastic jug with a plastic top. Now, these you couldn't, okay, because I'm going to talk about what's called dry canning and but you can't use this in the dry canning. You would have to use, and like if you put rice or beans or anything in there, you would have to use the oxygen absorber. But you got to make sure it is full and so stuffed that you can't get nothing else in it. Because if you don't, by it being plastic, that oxygen absorber will suck it and it will collapse. But if it's a thick enough plastic, it might not. But yeah. So that's plastic. You can actually store in plastic. Okay, next we're gonna talk about this big gallon jar right here. This is glass. Now this container isn't really for long-term storage because of the way the top is made. Okay. Now I'm thinking maybe if you put another seal, some kind of seal on it, you can do long-term storage in it. This would be like putting maybe your children's cereal in it or whatever, and you're working from it, from your pantry every day. That's what this is for. But there are glass gallon jars with metal tops, because you're going to need metal tops, not plastic, but metal, that for storage for long term, when you want to do oven canning, or it's called food sterilization too, because what you're doing is you're killing any larva, bug larva that in it, because when they work at these mills, it's it's nasty. So yeah, that's what you do that for. Okay, like I said, this isn't for long-term storage, not unless you can work with it to make this top seal. Okay, now the old standby ball. This is a half-gallon jar. You can can with this, you can dry can with this, or you can just store stuff in with this. This has a metal top. Now, these are your best things to, like if you're going to do regular flour, I'm talking about not whole wheat flour, but all-purpose flour, because you can store all-purpose flour. Okay, this is a container. This is Like I said, it's the half gallon. All right, then you have a quart. All right, this is good to dry can in as well. All right, a lot of things, people use these. They use this one and this one, okay? Now I'm talking about for long-term storage. Okay, then also, this is also a half a gallon, all right? But it's just a different shape. And it has a metal lid, okay? All right, and like I said, you want the metal lids, and I'm going to explain to you why. Now, you also have this what you call a spring top. You can long-term store it in here, too. You know, it's just that you probably have to do it another way. Now, let me go into what I'm talking about when I say dry canning. Now, I'm not telling nobody that they should, because USDA Arbol doesn't recommend this, but people have been doing it for years and years and years, and it hasn't failed yet. When you do this, this stuff can last as long as any freeze-dried food that's out there on the market. You can keep this for like 20 and 30 years if you do it right. Now, and I'm going to show you something. These were jars. This was an olive jar, okay? It's got shell pasta in it. I put shell pasta in it. And when you oven can, you can reuse the tops. And they do seal. This top sealed. Because what you do, in this top, this is a ragu top. In here, I got split peas. The top is resealed. You know how when you open it and it pops? Well, it goes back in. Okay. What you do is you're going to put this in the oven. When you're doing quart size and larger, well, when you do, you do a quart size jar, you're going to do 90 minutes. 90 minutes, yeah. An hour and a half. And you're going to leave them in there, and you're going to, and one thing, oh, I don't want to open that. Let me get this one. One thing about these, hold on, y'all. Is this? No, this is sealed too. Okay, when you regular can, you fill your jars to what they call 1/4, 3/4, 1/2 in an inch, okay? In an inch usually comes at the first rim of your jar, regardless of what kind you're using. Okay, now, but with these, you're going to put your dry product, and I mean dry. You're not going to do this with nothing wet. You're not going to can in the oven with no wet food, because you can't do that. You can't do that. That's, you know, you're messing with botulism when you do that. But with dry food, it can be done. All right, what you do is you're going to fill these jars all the way up to the top, as high as you can get them, okay? Then you're going to put these in the oven without the tops, like I said, for 90 minutes. And you're going to let them process for 90 minutes in the oven. Then you're going to, after the 90 minutes is over, you're going to take them out of the oven one at a time, because you want to keep it hot. And you're going to put the lids on them, and you're going to screw those lids on tight. Not like regular canning where you only do finger tight. You're going to put them tight. And then the jar, they seal. They seal. And like I said, this will stay on your shelf for a long, long, long time. Okay? Like here I have some rice, brown rice. I have black beans and pinto beans. And like I said, split peas and shells, you know, pasta. Okay? Now, if you are one who don't eat beans, you follow, you know, teaching about beans being bad and all that, you don't eat beans, you know, then do yourself some lentils, because these are lentils. And then you also can do chickpeas. Okay? Now, let's see. Okay, now I canned today. These still hot? Yeah, regular can. Wait a minute, y'all. You know I always got to walk out the frame to do something. Hold on. Okay. They're still hot and still boiling. I canned some chickpeas and some black-eyed peas. Okay, this was my work for today. Okay, now, and I'm gonna tell you guys, start putting away food. If you are one that cannot can, then I would recommend that you go buy canned goods. Okay, now, I want to get serious now. I don't went over this. I think you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. Your different containers, what you do with them, what you can, what you cannot do with them. And like I said, I'm going to leave a link to another channel where you can get all the information. I'm just basically going over, okay? You know, quickly. Now, what I want to say is this. We keep hearing about this dark winter that's coming. Now, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it means, but it don't sound good because a lot of people are scurrying and scrambling, trying to get things in, you know, in place and in order in their homes. And the only one I know, there are only a few people I know in our Hebrew community that are getting prepared. Now, not saying nobody else is that, because I don't know everybody, you know. And even China, of all places, is telling their people to stock up on food for the winter. So something is not going to be good. So I'm going to say this. I want to say this. There are those of you who say, well, oh, the Most High will provide. Yah will provide. Well, yeah, he can. But Yah is not a genie in the bottle that you rub and then you expect him to come running to you when you get yourself in a mix. Because he gives us all discernment and to understand when things are about to happen. He sends people to us. Okay? And that's like prayer. That's like, okay, there's this thing that they said about this guy who was drowning, and he said, oh, Yah, save me, save me. Prayer. And so Yah sent the man in the canoe. And the man said, well, I'm going to wait on Yah. I'm going to wait on Yah. And then he said, and then the man cried out again. The Most High sent him a boat, a man with a boat. He told the man, I'm going to wait on Yah. Okay. The man said, okay. And then he cried out again, and he asked, and the Most High sent him a ship. And he told him, I'm going to wait on Yah. And so finally, the man ended up drowning. And when he went before the Most High, he said, Yah, I called on you to save me. He said, man, I sent you a canoe, a boat, and a ship. What else was I supposed to do? So, saying all that is this. Prepare your houses, sister. Get your houses in order. Don't expect magic to happen because you're thinking, oh, the Most High will provide. Yeah, we know he's provided, but he expects us to do our part too. You know, he expects us to do our part. So, do what you have to do now before it's too late, because time is getting short. And if you want to learn how to can, you better go get you a canner now, because I'm thinking in a few months you're not going to be able to get one. And if you can, you're going to be paying more for it than when it's worth. Because they're saying things by December, by next month, a lot of things are going to be 30% more expensive than what they are now. So, like I was saying, if you don't can and you don't want to can, then you need to go to the store and you need to stock up your pantry now, okay? And for all my plant-based raw vegans, now, if you have your own garden, that's good. Now, if you in the Northeast or the Midwest where it snows and gets cold, you need to invest in the greenhouse so you continue to grow your food, because if not, you're going to be left out there too. You know, I'm just saying, you know, I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but you guys, you need to prepare. This country is the only country not warning their people about what's coming. You know, why is that? You know, because if China, the most communistic country in the world, is warning their people to stock up on food for the winter, something is about to happen. You know, I don't know what, I don't know how bad, but something is about to happen. So, again, learn how to can. If you don't want to, stack up now so you'll have it, because you don't want your children out there crying about they hungry. You know, and you don't want your husband to be out there, be one of them trying to rob somebody else to get his baby some food. You know, because that way somebody get hurt. But go out there if you want a can, get you a canner now while you still can. You know, get you jars now while you still can. Because pretty soon there not going to be any jars left. And, oh, and like I said about the dry candy, you can use any jar. So if you buy things in glass like pasta sauce, olives, pickles, you know, with the pickles you're going to have to leave your tops out for a while so the smell will come out of them. But yeah, so anyway, invest in you some jars. Put away, learn how to do, if you don't want to can, like a pressure can, then do the dry candy. You know, do the dry candy, because at least you'll have something on your shelf, okay? Now, let's see, is there anything else I want to say about this? No. Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to say, if this is the first time you ever watch any of my videos, I'm going to ask you to subscribe, hit the notification bell, share if you find this content important, okay? Now, again, you guys get yourself prepared. You guys get yourself prepared, because like I said, the Most High is not a genie that you can rub on the bottle and call him to your beck and call. No, he don't work like that. It's people, he sends people to his people to warn them, to let them know danger is coming, or repent, or whatever the case may be. So I'm standing here telling you, prepare. Get yourself together and prepare. Okay? With that, I'm going to say shalom.